Hi there, my name's Johnny Oliver, sports scientist, male 41, Aquarius, and officially the fourth best cook at BPM. And I'm in a mix with David. So it's often remarked upon that losing a lot of weight in a short space of time is a bad thing, but there isn't necessarily any reason why, provided you keep your body composition healthy. If you restrict your energy intake significantly, you'll likely go into a bit of a starvation mode, making you go to your muscles more so to get the calories needed for your base metabolism. Therefore, you burn muscles instead of fat. But if you exercise, then this is just negated altogether. That is, exercise and you won't lose any lean tissue whatsoever. Both cardio-based exercise and strength-based exercise have exactly the same effect. That is, you preserve lean tissue. This is important though for when you're restricting calories, as if you didn't exercise, then around 20 to 30% of the weight that you lose may be from muscle. This isn't good. Another often cited concern is the elevated fatty acid concentration in the blood when cutting down your calorie intake, but if it's just for a week or two, or possibly even a month, this isn't even going to touch the size. It's much more important you get yourself fit, get the weight down. I do want to stress that in the last 4 days I've eaten well. I haven't deprived myself of any nutrition whatsoever. I've just eaten better, and I'll show you an example of that just now. Firstly though, let me be absolutely clear about this. I'm a bit of a rubbish chef. As much as I love cooking, I'm pretty rubbish at it. Cooking though is one of the most useful tools in managing your weight. If you have to rely on ready meals, slimming foods and the like, it can either be poor nutritionally or expensive, or both. Best source good ingredients yourself. I'll reiterate the point though, that I'm a frustratingly bad chef. I want to be good, but I'm rubbish. But it doesn't stop me, that's the point. Good ingredients though are essential. You'll see in a minute a variation of a stir fry that I'm about to butcher. It's a real hybrid of recipes, and if you're ever to see it in a Chinese restaurant, demand the chef is sacked immediately. But for me, I like it, and most important thing is it's all good ingredients. Proper food, not packaged, not processed. So here we go, nice and hot pan, grind up some Sichuan peppercorns, throw them in, maybe some chili flakes if you like spicy, dry roast a few seconds, then add a bit of olive oil. Not Chinese I know, but I try and avoid vegetable oils if you can. Peanut oil works well though with Chinese food and is pretty healthy. If you use a fairly new pan, then you should only actually need a tiny amount of oil. Obviously try and keep this to as little as possible. Keep the calories down. Throw in some ginger. I'm just doing a veggie stir fry, but if you want to throw in little strips of meat, chicken, pork, whatever, throw them in now. Just make sure it's done. Then I'm being a bit lazy. I've got a bag of stir fry mix, but here you might just use whatever you want, peppers, mushrooms, whatever really. Keep the heat nice and high, stir it up a bit, then add the two main flavouring ingredients, light soy sauce and vinegar. Of all the ingredients we're using here, you might argue that soy sauce is the least dense nutritionally. Certainly soy products are not the wonder foods that they've been claimed for over the years, but they're not necessarily bad either. Just a bit of light soy sauce, tastes good. Vinegar, on the other hand, is really good for you. Bang it in, it's really, really good. If you're using beef or pork, Chinese use a little bit of Huangjiao, kind of cooking sherry here as well. Right, now throwing in loads of garlic. Simply, I love garlic. The later it's thrown in, the stronger the taste, but if you prefer a little bit milder, throw it in earlier and it'll be a bit more subtle. Right then, now for the weird bit, but it's actually not that weird. I've steamed some sprouts and cabbage, gonna throw them in at the end. Dark green veg is arguably the most nutritionally dense, and it's also very filling per calorie. So, you know, you might not find this in a Chinese restaurant, but you know, why not? It's great food. If anyone's got a problem with sprouts, outside now, we're gonna settle it by fighting. Good food should make you feel full, but for not too many calories. Leptin is the hormone that keeps you feeling full, and veg is great for that, particularly the rougher, more fibrous stuff that we're using here. But also, you know, Meat, chicken, pork, fish, you really can't get fat eating that kind of stuff as long as it's, as long as it's a lean cut. I don't tend to use meat much myself, but I mean, it's really just a case I'm a bit too lazy to do the washing up, but really, as long as it's lean, just throw it in. And now for the rice, controversial subject. If you're going to use rice, brown is better as it contains the vitamins and minerals from the husk. So what I mean, white rice is basically empty calories, but brown rice, it's got a little more nutrition, not a lot, but a little. But it can also be very fattening if you have too much. Try and use as little rice as you can that will make you feel full. At BPM, we definitely don't encourage people not to eat carbs, but it depends on the type of carbs that you eat. Carbs like fruit and veg is all fair game, but rice, noodles, bread, etc. You can put on weight pretty quick if you have too much. It's about how much you have. Try to limit these kind of foods as much as you can. The more weight will come off as a result. Try and get your carbs from fruit if possible. Fructose, it's an entirely different type of slow releasing sugar, and that's what ideally you'd be aiming for. There's a movement of people who'll try and tell you that fruit makes you fat, but fructose isn't like that. Scoff it down. So here we go, my Frankenstein's monster of a stir fry. Get it while it's hot, it's lovely. Not as authentic as some, but all good ingredients. That's the main thing. Very good for you.